problem 5, this is exercise 8.5 in your text. Problem 5 and Connect. Talks about a company called Yovewell Corporation. I have no idea where these guys come up with these names. Anyhow, for the upcoming year, they have the following information. Well, they give us labor hours. We're going to need that. They tell us that. The company uses direct labor hours as its overhead allocation base. The variable portion of its predetermined manufacturing overhead rate is $3.25 per hour. So we're going to need $3.25 times each of these number of hours. And its total fixed manufacturing overhead is $48,000 per quarter, and of that $16,000 is depreciation, non-cash. So using these data as our guide, let's prepare an overhead budget for the upcoming year, and then let's see what their total manufacturing overhead rate really is for the year. So this looks a little daunting. It looks like it could be confusing, and whenever something looks tough, I always pick a part that I know I can do and do that first. Well, I know I can copy down these numbers. So budgeted direct labor hours, I got that. 8,000, 8,200, 8,500, 7,800, and I'll add it up for the year. 32,500. Don't trust me, you're trusting my TI-83. Okay. Variable manufacturing overhead rate. Well, they gave us that. $3.25 per hour. Let's put that in. $3.25 per hour. And what else do they give us? Fixed manufacturing overhead rate. Okay, good. We got that. 48,000. And you add that up across. 48 and 48 is 96. 96 times 2, 192. See that? I can do some numbers in my head, even if I did go to Philadelphia Public Schools and Woodstock. Okay, well, the total manufacturing overhead I don't know yet, but oh, depreciation, great, they gave me that, 16 grand per quarter. You don't pay cash for depreciation. Nobody comes knocking at your door and saying, depreciation collector, send out your cash. And if you do think there is such a person, good news, kids, I just got elected depreciation collector. Send me your checks or large boxes of unmarked bills. 16,000 per quarter. So we're going to subtract that from whatever we get up there, because we know we're not going to have to spend cash for depreciation. And I can do that in my head too. 16 and 16 is 32, 48, 64. Apparently the brown acid of Woodstock wasn't as bad as they said. Okay, now we've knocked a big chunk out of this. So now let's go through and fill in the rest of the pieces. Because everything we've done there so far, we just copied from here and put it in the grid. Now we have to do a little bit of math. Arithmetic, really. We're going to use 8,000 hours of labor, and each one of those is going to cost us $3.25 worth of overhead. 325 times 8,000, 26,000. That's not public school education, that's TI 83. Same with 325 times 8,200, that's 26,650. 325 times 8,500, we come up with 27,625. And 325 times 7,800, we come up with 25,350. Again, Mr. Belt and Suspenders, I'm going to add across, and I'm going to multiply to see if they come up to be the same number, and they do, and that number is $105,625. Multiply that, you'll get that. Add that, you'll get that. Okay, now I'm going to add these because this is my variable and that's my fixed. So variable and fixed by definition is total. Variable plus fixed equals total. So 26 and 48 is 74,000. Mr. Quate, my 7th grade algebra teacher, would be so proud of me. He's also the guy that said I was more likely to do time than finish high school. Second quarter, 48,026,650, 74,650. What did he know? I got a PhD and, well, he's dead. The third quarter, I'm going to add the variable plus the fixed, and I'm going to come up with 75,625. Variable and fixed comes up with 73,350. And you add those across, we come up with 297,625. Now we have to subtract out the depreciation, because what we're trying to do is we're coming up with the overhead budget. And when you think budget, think dollars. Remember that Jerry Maguire movie, Show Me the Money? Well, show me the money. We're talking dollars here. Subtract out the 16 grand for depreciation that we won't be spending in cash. We come up with 58,000. 58,650. And all I'm doing is subtracting these two to come up with that. 59,625. 57,350. And 233,625. And again, it's that belt and suspenders thing. I would also add across this plus this plus this plus this to see if it does equal that, and it does. So, to review, budgeted direct hours given to us, rate given to us, multiply this times that to get that, add the fixed overhead to get the total overhead, subtract the non-cash expense depreciation to get the total cash for depreciation, for manufacturing overhead. So it's really simply a matter of going through and doing it little by little, piece by piece, item by item. Now it says, altogether, what should our overhead rate be? You have two choices to pick the total overhead rate to come up with the predetermined rate. You could pick that or that. You have to go with this because it says total budgeted manufacturing overhead. It doesn't say total budgeted cash overhead. So we go with the full number. So we take 297, 625, divide that by the budgeted labor hours for the year. Budgeted labor hours for the year, 32,500. And when you take 297, 625 and divide it by 32,500, you come up with a rate of $9.16 an hour, rounded off to the nearest cent, taking out the tenths and hundredths of a penny.